Hey folks, Papa D here, again coming to you from Central Florida, from David Deliver Space. What you're looking at now is a live shot from MS-25 that is going to be taking 3 astronauts to orbit, one of whom is American, and that American astronaut is Tracy Dyson. This is the second attempt for this launch. It was scrubbed yesterday with less than 2 due to what was, we were told, was a low voltage. Mission was scrubbed, and we are looking for a redo today this morning in just under 40 minutes. We're going to be going live to NASA's coverage here in about 2.5 minutes. This feed is a external, and then of course, as you can see, the internal view. There's Stacy right there. Certainly not the quarters. A SpaceX Dragonflight. Certainly a little bit different experience, and we are very thankful for the vast majority now of our astronauts enjoying the SpaceX treatment, so to speak. Again, this is a Soyuz mission 25, and it is a standard Soyuz 2.1, which is the upgraded Soyuz version put into play here within the last year. We're looking at about 1.5 minutes here. We'll be going live to the NASA feed, and we'll be covering the launch through the end of the NASA coverage. I want to thank NASA. I want to thank all the players involved for providing this footage and providing access. We're very appreciative of being able to pull it all together and get it out to you all. Thank you to the subscribers. We have a great family here, and we appreciate every one of our subscribers for coming by, spending time with us. If you have any comments, anything you need us to look into or want to do, certainly shoot me a comment, remark in the comment section. You can go to daviddeliverspace.com, shoot me an email. We look forward to bringing you whatever it is our viewers are interested in seeing as we progress and grow the page. If you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Look around. We do cover as much as we possibly can, both locally, from here in Florida. When we can do the remotes directly, we certainly do. Anything that we don't have access to directly, we carry remotely from the studio, and we appreciate all of you coming by to see that. So if you're interested, please subscribe, please like, share the videos, ring that bell so you'll be notified at any time we post a new video or we have a new live event going up. And all of our live events are usually on the channel. You can hit the notify button and you will be notified by us when we are going live. With that, we're going to stand by here for just a minute and prepare to go live with the NASA feed. Again, thank you to NASA, and thank you to y'all for coming out this morning for attempt number 2 of the Soyuz MS-25 mission.
Sitting patiently on its launch pad in the Central Asian desert, Soyuz MS-25 is ready once again to begin its journey to the International Space Station, and we're in the final minutes of the countdown. You are looking live at Launch Pad 6, Site 31 at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, where that Soyuz 2.1A booster stands fully fueled once again, ready for launch to send an American astronaut, a Roscosmos cosmonaut, and a spaceflight participant from Belarus into orbit, this time on a 2-day journey to reach their destination, the International Space Station. Good morning from Mission Control in Houston and the International Space Station Flight Control Room here at the Johnson Space Center. Countdown clocks are ticking backward for the launch of the Soyuz MS-25 spacecraft atop its Soyuz booster at 7:36 and 10 seconds a.m. Central Time, 8:36 and 10 seconds a.m. Eastern Time, 5:36 and 10 seconds p.m. Baikonur Time. At the launch site, you can see that the gantry arms are spreading. They'll move into a horizontal position relative to the launch vehicle that was fully fueled several hours ago by launch engineers in Baikonur, a process that was completed without any incident. The launch control team in Baikonur reports all systems are go for launch, with no issues being worked as the countdown enters its final phase. And you're looking inside the descent module of the Soyuz vehicle at NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson, who in just 34 minutes and 20 seconds will begin her third flight into space, joined on this mission to the International Space Station by Roscosmos cosmonaut and Soyuz commander Oleg Novitsky and spaceflight participant Marina Vasilevskaya of Belarus, the first Belarusian to fly in space. Today, unlike the first launch attempt on Thursday, because of orbital mechanics, results in a 34-orbit 2-day journey to the International Space Station with a launch window of 25 seconds in duration, a launch into a phase angle of 201.8 degrees, a rather wide corridor because of the long phasing required for this Soyuz to reach the International Space Station. Docking is scheduled now on Monday at 10:09 a.m. Central Time, 11:09 a.m. Eastern Time, to the Prishal node module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. In Baikonur, the temperature is 48 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy skies for today's launch attempt. Once the hatches are open between the newly arrived Soyuz and the station on Monday, Dyson, Novitsky, and Vasilevskaya will be greeted by Station Commander Oleg Kononenko of Roscosmos and his crewmates, Alexander Grabenkin and Nikolai Chub, and NASA astronauts Laurel O'Hara, Matt Dominic, Mike Barrett, and Jeanette Epps. After 12 days on board, enabling Vasilevskaya to conduct experiments on behalf of Belarus researchers, Novitsky, Vasilevskaya, and O'Hara will use MS-24 spacecraft, the new departure date April 6th, heading for a parachute-assisted landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan. Dyson will remain on board the station through September, returning home at that time with Kononenko's MS-25. Dyson will have spent 6 months in space on this or minus 32-minute mark in the countdown. Again, all systems reported for today's launch attempt. This launch for Dyson to the space station mirrors that of Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Grabenkin, who launched to the station as part of the SpaceX Crew 8 Dragon earlier this year, providing a reciprocal crew exchange capability, maintaining safe and continuous space station operations. The initial attempt to launch Soyuz MS-25 on Thursday was scrubbed at the T-minus 20-second mark when the automatic launch sequencer cut off the countdown. The crew was never in any danger as the Soyuz booster was safed, enabling the crew to be extracted from the Soyuz within an hour, after which they returned to their cosmonaut hotel crew quarters to brush up on some final training. Engineers in Baikonur determined that the cause of the scrub was a low voltage rating in the booster's first stage electrical system. Batteries were changed and retested Friday morning, setting the stage for today's launch attempt.
To Operator 5, the service tower has been made. Oh. Evacuation into the safe zone was completed for the personnel. Copy.
As you look at the Soyuz MS-25 on the launch pad at Baikonur, approaching the T-minus 30-minute mark. Here in Mission Control in Houston, we're about to do a shift handover from Orbit 1 to Orbit 2. The Orbit 1 team has been on console throughout the course of the overnight hours and just finished supervising the flawless docking of the SpaceX Dragon cargo ship to the Harmony module's Zenith docking port. That occurred less than an hour ago. That cargo Dragon delivering some 3 tons of supplies and science equipment to the International Space Station that will be on board for about a 5-week delivery mission. This live view of the Soyuz MS-25 on the launch pad at Baikonur, again liftoff scheduled for 7:36 and 10 seconds a.m. Central Time, 5:36 and 10 seconds p.m. in Baikonur. Atop that booster, strapped into the seats of the descent module, are NASA's Tracy Dyson, Oleg Novitsky of Roscosmos, and spaceflight participant Marina Vasilevskaya of Belarus. Novitsky, as the Soyuz commander, is in the center seat of the Soyuz MS-25. Dyson is seated to his right. You've seen scenes of Dyson from interior cameras. Vasilevskaya is seated to the left of Novitsky.
To Operator 1. All the preparations have been complete, and the service personnel has been evacuated into...
Once the crew climbed aboard the Soyuz and strapped into their respective seats, there were leak checks that were performed on their Sokol launch and entry suits. Everything has checked out in great shape. And as you can hear from time to time, there is that traditional music being piped up to the crew in the descent module. That is traditional to help them relax in the final stages of a countdown for launch.
Copy. You are go to sign off.
And now this footage that was recorded earlier showing some of the activities again on a partly cloudy day in Baikonur. The launch day began several hours ago as the crew departed their Cosmonaut Hotel crew quarters to traditional farewell music and boarded a bus for the 40-minute ride to the integration and suit-up facility at Building 254 inside the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Thank you, thank you.
And as you see, a large crowd of well-wishers 2 days after that first launch attempt, still on the scene, greeting the crew and wishing them best wishes as they boarded the bus to head out to their suit-up facility. And as usual, the buses, the prime crew in the first bus, the backup crew in the second bus, left the parking lot outside the Cosmonaut Hotel for this 40-minute journey into the Cosmodrome to the Site 254 suit-up facility. After arriving at the integration building, each crew member underwent final medical exams, suited up in their SOCA launch and entry suits, and entered this room, divided from their friends and families and officials by a protective pane of glass to maintain quarantine, and conducted leak checks on their suits one by one. Tracy Dyson was first into the mock-up of the Soyuz seat. There's Novitsky on the left, Vasilevskaya on the right. Each crew member, one by one, underwent these pressure checks to make sure that their suits were free of any leaks. These leak checks typically take about 20 minutes to complete, as one by one this ensures that the SOCA launch and entry suits are airtight and ready to support the launch by the Soyuz MS-25 into orbit. And you see part of the crowd of family members and well-wishers on the other side of that protective pane of glass. As you watch this video that was captured earlier today, before the crew headed for the launch pad, the current status, we're at T-minus 23 minutes and counting to the launch vehicle.
Hello again. Now we sign the door to our room, and we usually put the date. We'll
Oh yeah.
so now we have 2 dates,
Yeah.
but that's gonna be it. We're pulling talks. We're going today.
Yeah.
We woke up with a pretty good vibe this morning. The grass at our home, so it's about being in space and into it. So.
Oh yeah. Energizing. So
Tammy's got a good song too.
What? They might have iPods, but I'm kind of hoping that Buddy will sing for us. She's got a beautiful voice.
You're gonna have to sing too, though, probably.
If she runs out of songs.
No.
That was scary.
I saw your most recent video.
Field? You gonna go the same
We
place?
just follow Ksenia.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Ksenia? You good? Cool. Good. I'll stop talking.
Привет.
Всем спасибо, что
Доченька, ты молодец. По тебе видим, что крепишься, настроена на пол.
Tracy Dyson, there you saw exchanging words with her husband,
Absolutely ready. Yes, today
saying we have a good vibe for today.
this way. I'd just like to board the capsule and fly. Our commander told us that we have already been through good today. And I love you so very much. You are my large family. Thank you. Thank Such a great pleasure to have your support. And it's a great experience. take shorter time to fly to the station. But on the other hand, now to admire our beautiful.
This is my husband, George.
Hello. You guys are very quiet. Anything for April's Fool's Day ready in your pocket? Well, maybe. Everything's been great. Well, see you soon. Goodbye. It's the first time ever that we have our launch rescheduled. But for us, it was the first time. It's okay.
Bowersox, NASA's Associate Administrator for Space Operations, having an opportunity to talk to Oleg Novitsky, and then Roscosmos, the crew.
Did you sleep? How are you feeling? We are rested. Everything is great. And the weather is better today. Sunny. Right. So everything will be beautiful. Well, you'll take a little longer to get to the ISS. I think that for those who are first-time flyers, it would be great to admire. All the best. Have a great mission. Be quiet, be strong, and we love you. We will be waiting for you on the ground.
Of course, the familiar scene of the crew members leaving that Site 254 integration building. This allows Novitsky, the Soyuz commander, to report that he and his final farewells as the crew boarded the bus for the trip out to Launch Site 31, a trip that ultimately took about an hour to complete. That suit-up facility. At the launch pad with the rocket already fully fueled. The three crew members escorted to the stairs, the stairwell at the base of the Soyuz 2.1A booster. They climbed a few stairs, waved goodbye to well-wishers, and entered the elevator there for the ride to the top of the Soyuz rocket to board their spacecraft, which they've now been aboard for about 2 hours or so. And there is the elevator carrying the 3 crew members to Soyuz booster and the access port to which they enter the Soyuz MS-25 spacecraft, which is encapsulated in the. And we are back live now with a view of Soyuz 2.1A with the crew on top of that vehicle, as we are now at T-minus 13 minutes, seconds a.m. Eastern Time, the International Space Station and its 7 crew members west of South America. For the 3 crew members, after liftoff, first stage separation of the liquid-fueled solid rockets will take place at the 1-minute 58-second mark. The launch shroud jettison will occur at the 2-minute 33-second mark into. At the 4-minute 37-second mark, we'll have second stage shutdown. At the 8-minute 46-second mark, followed 3 seconds later by third. The Soyuz spacecraft's solar arrays and navigational antennas, and the chase, resulting in a docking to the Prishal node module on the Earth-facing side of the 11:09 a.m. Eastern Time. Booster rolled out to its launch pad. With the NASA delegation is NASA Public Affairs Officer Leah Cheshire, who filed this report a short time ago.
Hi, Rob. We're here at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, standing by for the launch of NASA astronaut Tracy Dyson and the Soyuz MS-25 crew. We are at the viewing site just a couple of miles from the launch pad. This is where we were a couple of nights ago when we were expecting launch on the initial attempt. Of course, there was some surprise when we had a scrub. However, the NASA contingent is still here along with Tracy's family and friends, and we are here to support her, and we're really excited to see her launch tonight. The temperature now is about mid-50s, so a little bit warmer than we saw a couple of days ago, and the crew is currently aboard the Soyuz. Procedures initially, they were expecting a 2-orbit. There are some additional procedures that they needed to look over to make sure they were prepared for this new phasing. Standing by and looking forward to seeing Soyuz take to the skies tonight. With that, I will send it back to you, Rob.
Thank you very much, Leah. 9 minutes, 27 seconds and counting to the launch of Soyuz MS-25. 2 key milestones that will be coming up in the final minute of the countdown. You can see at the bottom of your screen there are 2 umbilical towers that are buttressed up against the side of the Soyuz booster. About the T-minus 30-second mark in the countdown. And then the key moment, the second of those 2 umbilical seconds mark, that will initiate the automatic launch sequence that will trigger the ignition of the first stage engines. That is what did not occur in that launch abort that we went through. Although the system did exactly what it was designed to do, it safed the vehicle. Extracted less than an hour after the countdown was halted. So we'll keep a close eye on traction of those 2 umbilicals in the final minute of the countdown. T-minus 7-minute mark, pre-launch operations will be complete. The Soyuz booster will be declared and all telemetry will have been received from the rocket, indicating that the primary and back. As is the case with any launch to the International Space Station, the launch is precisely timed for the moment when the Earth's rotation places the Baikonur Cosmodrome 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. And because requires a 2-day rendezvous instead of a 2-orbit rendezvous, with basically a 3-hour journey from launch to docking, there is a larger corridor for which the Soyuz to enter to begin its chase to catch up to the International Space Station.
Readiness. Copy.
One minute.
The measurement
readiness.
system is
the
ready.
Control is on board. Everything is according to the schedule. Copy. We are ready for launch. Everything is nominal on board.
We're now at T-minus 6 minutes, 40 seconds and counting, as you heard through the interpreter. The launch conductor coming up in just a couple of seconds. That launch conductor will insert a launch key in the launch bunker into the automatic mode for the final 6 minutes of the countdown.
Copy.
Key inserted.
T-minus 5 minutes, 50 seconds and counting. Launch control will soon report that the range at Baikonur is clear and that the Soyuz rocket is ready to begin its journey. Liquid oxygen for an 8-minute, 46-second ride to deliver Soyuz. Coming up on T-minus 5 minutes, all systems are go for launch.
All right, folks, Papa D here. We got about less than 5 minutes
Purge in
until
progress.
launch, and everything looking good. Hopefully, we'll have a nice, clean launch.
The fuel lines and other elements of the rocket engines currently being purged with nitrogen. This fireproofs those fuel lines by removing excess vapors of fuel and oxidizer. T-minus 4 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. At the fuel tanks will be pressurized for flight.
Okay, and it's a very similar procedure, RP1 equivalent. It'll be in the lines prior to liftoff. So everything is on track and on time.
T-minus 3 minutes, 45 seconds until launch. Again, everything in readiness to send Tracy Dyson, Oleg Novitsky, and Marina Vasilevskaya skyward. Tracy Dyson about to embark on her third flight. His fourth flight into space. He's already accrued 531 days of spaceflight experience. That's into space, the first Belarusian to fly in space.
Draining.
The fuel tanks being drained of any excess. Soon will be pressurized for flight to optimize the flow of fuel and to help add structural support to the rocket.
Pressurization confirmed. All reports are confirmed.
Propellant feed will be terminated to the Soyuz booster.
A couple of different angles, folks, of the launch. Appreciate all the live feed activity. And
T-minus 1. Coming up on the T-minus 1 minute mark, the Soyuz now going.
Internal power.
Ground vehicle.
There's the retraction of the first umbilical, T-minus 30 seconds and counting.
All
Auto sequence initiated.
launch.
We now have engine ignition.
Preliminary.
Turbo pumps and engines up to flight speed, now at full. We have liftoff. Dyson, Novitsky, and Vasilevskaya finally underway on a 2-day journey to the International Space Station.
All parameters are nominal.
Good roll, pitch, and yaw program. The Soyuz heading downrange, heading to the north. Cosmodrome.
20 seconds into the flight.
All thrusters are performing normally from the block.
Soyuz MS-25.
30.
All rocket performance is declared nominal at this point.
The vehicle stabilization is performing nominally.
Good vehicle stabilization, good first stage performance.
50 seconds. The pressure in is good.
Good engine performance.
60 seconds. Yaw and roll are nominal.
Should be heading into the regime of Mach 1 or 2 from now.
All parameters are on board. All is well.
Novitsky, good vehicle parameters at the 1 minute 40-second mark into the flight.
Nominal.
Passing through max Q.
Pitch, roll, and yaw are nominal.
Good vehicle parameters. And we have first stage set.
So the lateral boosters have separated. We confirm that, and
the Soyuz now at 28 statute miles in altitude, traveling about 3,300 miles an hour downrange from at the 2 minute 25-second mark into the flight.
130 seconds into the flight. All parameters are nominal. All is good on board.
Good reports up to the crew from the blockhouse in Baikonur as we pass the 2 minute 40-second mark into the flight.
Into the flight, the vehicle stabilization is nominal. Well, copy.
This view inside, momentarily inside, saw Novitsky and Vasilevskaya.
All is good on board.
3.5 minutes into the flight. All reports are nominal from the blockhouse in Baikonur.
Полет нормальный, время КП 220 секунд. 220 seconds into the flight. The flight is nominal. All is well on board. Copy, Kazbeki.
Four minutes into the flight. The second stage engine is performing normally. It will shut down at the 4-minute 37-second mark into the flight.
250 seconds.
Yaw, pitch, and roll reported in good shape. Good vehicle parameters, good stability.
Параметры системы управления ракетой-носителем в норме.
Different viewing angle for y'all.
Бак окислителя третьей ступени.
The third stage oxidizer tank has been pressurized.
Second stage has separated. We can.
And we have confirmation of second stage shutdown, third stage engine up and running. 5 minutes, 6 seconds into the flight. The third stage will burn for 4 minutes and 9 seconds in the final phase of the Soyuz MS-25's climb to its preliminary orbit.
The vehicle stabilization is nominal. All is well on board, and the crew are feeling well.
So far, so good at the 5.5-minute mark into the flight. The third stage engine is performing as advertised. About 3 minutes of powered flight remaining. Liftoff occurred on time at 7:36 and 10 seconds a.m. Central Time, 8:36 and 10 seconds a.m. Eastern Time. This third stage engine is providing about 67,000 pounds of thrust during its 4-minute burn to deliver the Soyuz to its preliminary orbit. The reports are all good from Novitsky, the Soyuz commander in the center seat of the Soyuz descent module. 6 minutes, 35 seconds into the flight. Two minutes of powered flight remaining.
Seconds into the flight, the vehicle stabilization is performing nominally.
Mark 7 minutes into the flight. Good reports continuing to come in from the blockhouse in Baikonur. Once the Soyuz separates from its third stage, control of its journey to the International Space Station will be in the hands of those flight controllers. 7
150 seconds into the flight. The flight is nominal.
So far. Eight minutes into the flight. The crew is feeling well on board, and all structural parameters of the vehicle are reported nominal.
The vehicle is nominal.
30 seconds of powered flight remaining.
.500 into the flight.
8.5 minutes into the flight, the crew being told to prepare for third stage engine shutdown and spacecraft separation that we're standing by.
520 seconds into the flight. All parameters are nominal.
And we have third stage shutdown and third stage separation.
Separation is confirmed.
The command now will be given to deploy the Soyuz solar arrays. That now underway.
MCC Moscow.
And the solar arrays and navigational antennas have all been deployed. Perfect ride to orbit for Tracy Dyson, Oleg Novitsky, and Marina Vasilevskaya. The 2-day chase to catch up to the International Space Station now underway.
Kazbeki, MCC Moscow. Kazbeki, MCC Moscow. Kazbeki, MCC Moscow. How do you copy? If you can hear me, could you please go to page 35? Kazbeki, MCC Moscow. This is Kazbek. How do you copy? We copy you loud and clear. How do you copy us? I copy you loud and clear. Excellent. So the KDU repress has already deactivated. Yes, that's correct. And RPV are open. And have you left the display ascent? Yes, we have. And everything is nominal. Yes, that's right. On TSV, we have the message 1548, the emergency of sector number 3. What about PS1 LED? No, it is not illuminated.
This is a post-insertion conversation between the interpreter who is relaying information up to Oleg Novitsky, the Soyuz commander aboard the MS-25.
Oil pressure 7-9.
All of the Soyuz systems are reported to be in excellent shape following its 8-minute, 46-second climb to orbit atop a Soyuz 2.1A booster, the crew in its preliminary orbit.
And send the command. Copy.
Coming up on this 2-day rendezvous will be 2 burns in the next couple of hours called DV1 and DV2. That stands for delta velocity. Those are essentially altitude raised burns that will stair-step an increase in the Soyuz altitude to begin to match that of the International Space Station.
The dynamic mode enabled via Karel command radio link. We confirm.
Once again, 2 days after the launch was scrubbed because of a low voltage reading in the Soyuz booster's first stage, the batteries in the first stage were replaced and retested. The launch was rescheduled for today and went off without a hitch, with liftoff at 7:36 and 10 seconds a.m. Central Time, 8:36 and 10 seconds a.m. Eastern Time. A perfect climb to orbit, no issues during the 3-stage performance of the Soyuz booster as it delivered Tracy Dyson, Oleg Novitsky, and Marina Vasilevskaya into their preliminary orbit for what today is a 34-orbit 2-day rendezvous to the station, as opposed to what it would have been on Thursday, which would have been a 2-orbit rendezvous. That is simply dictated by Johannes Kepler and his law of orbital mechanics and the position of the International Space Station relative to where the launch site of the Baikonur Cosmodrome was today versus Thursday.
I am ready to report, as you know, data starting with parameter 17, 16.9, number 18, 16.9, 19, 262, number 20, 0, number 21, 2, number 22, 323, number 23, 322, number 24, 13.9, number 25, inaudible 0.3, number 26, 261, propellant 8, inaudible. Copy. Kazbeki MCC Moscow. Go ahead.
Ответил, Казбек, как принимаете меня?
MCC Moscow, Kazbek. Yes. The compass will be completed 15:46. After the compass, could you please monitor the compartments and after
The solar arrays and navigational antennas on the Soyuz MS-25 all deployed in perfect fashion, and the first self-test, if you will, a diagnostics test on the core's automated rendezvous system on the Soyuz is being performed, and reports now from the Russian Mission Control Center, which has taken over control of the flight of Soyuz MS-25, indicates that all of the Soyuz systems are in excellent shape.
Kazbeki Moscow? How do you copy? We copy you loud and clear, Kazbeki.
While we have watched the launch of Tracy Dyson to the International Space Station along with Oleg Novitsky and Marina Vasilevskaya, aboard the International Space Station, NASA astronaut Laurel O'Hara is preparing to open the hatch to the Dragon cargo ship, the SpaceX cargo ship, that docked to the International Space Station at 6:19 a.m. Central Time, 7:19 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, delivering some 3 tons of supplies and scientific experiments to the Expedition 70 crew.
If you copy us, the PSR time on page 41. So 16:18, 16:37. Kazbeki, the ascent was nominal. All the structures have deployed. All parameters of the orbit are nominal. You can loosen your shoulder straps, open your visors, and also deactivate this. So we allow you the actions.
Straps in their seats in the descent module, the International Space Station.
Copy me. This is guys. Do you copy me?
Orbit following its perfect climb to orbit. Now that it launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, all is well, with 3 more for the International Space Station. They will arrive at the station on Monday morning, temporarily increasing the station's population for the departure of Novitsky, Vasilevskaya, and NASA's Laurel O'Hara on April 6th, 9:15 a.m. Central Time, 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, setting up a docking facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station at 11:09 a.m. Eastern, 12:09 p.m. Crew, and the launch of 3 new crew members to the International Space Station followed in perfect fashion. Dyson to arrive at the station on Monday morning. With our coverage on Monday morning, again beginning at 9:15 a.m. Central Time, 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, with rendezvous and docking coverage for Soyuz MS-25. Until then, have a great weekend.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us today. That was a perfect launch and insertion into orbit for the Soyuz MS-25 mission. including that carried 3 astronauts, including Tracy Dyson. They are currently on a 2-day trip that will take them to the International Space Station. Unfortunately, that was lengthened due to the delay, as was indicated by the commentator. Orbital Mechanics dictates that, and the trip now, instead of being a mere hours, is going to be 2 days. Best to carry that docking, and that'll be posted on the channel. When that takes place, we will notify you, and we're going live for that. But everything went well today. We had an on-time, and the delays that popped up yesterday were completed and fixed, and everything was fine. So, different views for you today. Do some split screen so you could get a little bit different perspective on the launch. And we'll trying to get my list of launches here, but we've got a busy up here with a number of launches coming up, some more Starlinks. Those will again all be posted on the channel, and we make sure to keep that updated. If there's time changes, date changes, we try to bring those up to date so your notifications, if you punch that button, will come through on time. So with that, thank you to NASA, thank you to Roscosmos, all the partners that were so kind to provide the feed to us today. We appreciate being able to bring that to you. To our subscribers, again, thank you so much. We appreciate every one of you trusting us to come and get your information and get your space fix, I should say, as we all do. If you're not currently a subscriber, please look around. Take a look at our videos and our live events. We also now have a 24/7 ISS view, so you can enjoy a little calming music and watch the ISS's view as it goes around the Earth. So please take advantage of that and enjoy. And if again, please subscribe if you feel so inclined. We'd love to have you be a member of the family as we grow the channel, grow our subscriber base, and bring you more and more of these events in this exciting time that we're going through. Not to speak of anything, but even the Starship launches that are coming up. We just had one. We're going to get fixed to have another one, we think, within the next 6 weeks or so. All depends on how testing and FAA approvals go. So there's a lot going on, and we look forward to having you come back and spend some time with us and watch with the family and enjoy all these goings-on in this exciting time we live in. With that, I will say good afternoon. Have a great Saturday. We are going to have a great Saturday here in Florida, we hope. And looking forward to the next launch out of the Cape. So take care, thanks again, and come back soon.